Project Management. Part 7. Scope Management. The Scope Management Plan details how the project scope will be defined, developed, and verified. It clearly defines who is responsible for managing the project's scope and acts as a guide for managing and controlling the scope. Function of controlling a project in terms of its goals and objectives. It essentially defines 1. What is in the project scope. 2. What is not in the project scope. The Project Scope Management Plan documents how the project scope will be defined, managed, controlled, verified and communicated to the project team and stakeholders or customers. Scope equals all the work involved in creating the product. The term scope has two distinct uses: project scope and product scope. First, project scope means the work that needs to be accomplished to deliver a product, service, or result with the specified features and functions. The second, product scope, is the features and functions that characterize a product, service, or result. Notice that the project scope is more work-oriented, while product scope is more oriented toward functional requirements. Scope is variable during project cycle. 1. Delivering on a date can change scope. 2. Cost-cutting can change scope. 3 steps of scope management. 1. Planning. Deciding how the scope will be defined, verified, and controlled. 2. Work breakdown structure, subdividing the project into tasks and milestones. 3. Verification and control, acceptance of the scope and process to control scope. The Scope Management Plan includes the project charter, preliminary scope statement and project management plan. A. Title. B. Start and end dates. C. Team. D. Objectives. E. Budget. F. Roles and responsibilities. G. Summary of approach. H. Charter. I. Initial scope statement. Scope creep. Scope creep, also called requirement creep, in project management refers to uncontrolled changes or continuous growth in a project's scope. Uncontrolled change in project's scope. 1. This phenomenon can occur when the scope of a project is not properly defined, documented, or controlled. 2. It is generally considered a negative occurrence, and thus, should be avoided. 3. Could be driven by stakeholders or competition. Must avoid scope creep by 1. Creating a scope statement and WBS for a project. 2. Verifying project scope. Requirements. 3. Publishing requirements. 4. Assigning stack rank and priority to each requirement. 5. Doing WBS based on requirements. 6. Getting buy-off on the project scope and WBS. 7. Minimizing scope changes by building a process for managing change. Scope control. 1. Focus on change management. 2. Influence the factors that cause scope changes. 3. Ensure changes are processed according to procedures developed as part of integrated change control. 4. Manage changes when they occur. 5. Monitor trends. Work breakdown structure, WBS. 1. A work breakdown structure, WBS, in project management and systems engineering, is a deliverable-oriented decomposition of a project into smaller components. 2. A tool used to define and group a project's discrete work elements in a way that helps organize and define the total work scope of the project. 3. A document that provides the basis for planning and managing project schedules, costs, resources, and scope. Decomposition is subdividing project deliverables into smaller pieces. Planning and design phase. Planning phase. 1. Functional specification. 2. Resource estimates. Design phase. 1. Functional specifications. 2. UX prototypes or mock-ups. 3. Design document. 4. Test plan. Implementation phase. 1. Publish test cases. 2. Automation of test cases. Develop code. Schedule. Thank you for your time.